Before the world defines your identity, remind yourself who you are. Before doubt begins to cloud your vision, speak courage into your spirit. The first words you speak in the morning, they shape the energy of your day. So ask yourself, what are you speaking into your life? Each morning is an unwritten chapter, and the sentences you begin with, they set the tone. The story you live starts with the story you tell yourself before the world even begins to speak. Most people begin the day reacting, scrolling endlessly, caught in urgency, flooded by noise. But strength is not found in reaction. It is born from intention. These 12 declarations you're about to read, they are not meaningless affirmations. They are tools to train your mind, solidify your identity, and propel your purpose. Speak them with confidence. Speak them as though your future is shaped by them, because it is. 1. I am not bound to who I used to be. I am shaped by who I decide to become. This single realization can transform your entire direction. Far too many wake up haunted by yesterday, mistakes they've made, labels they've accepted, failures they carry like scars. But this moment, this very breath, holds the power to shift that pattern. Yes, the past has influenced you, but it does not own you. You are not the version of yourself from last year, or even last hour. You are the next decision you choose to make. Each morning you vote again for who you will be, not the version built by your history, but the one your vision dares to create. That future version of you is built through brave, quiet, daily choices. No one has to grant you permission to evolve. They don't get to decide your direction anymore. True growth isn't about pretending the past never happened. It's about choosing not to let it decide what happens next. You can carry the lesson without dragging the weight. So begin each morning with this declaration. I am not bound to who I used to be. Because in that moment, you claim your identity, you choose your direction, and you regain authorship of your path. You're not here to repeat a cycle. You're here to transform it. And the pen is in your hand. Point 2. I don't chase. I draw in what's mine by becoming who I need to be. Let this reminder settle within you before the distractions begin. The moment you stop chasing validation, people, opportunities, and begin aligning yourself with the mindset, energy, and behaviors of the version of you that already has what you want, everything changes. Chasing comes from fear, from a belief in separation. It says, what I want is far away, and I must exhaust myself to get it. But attraction comes from identity. It says, when I elevate who I am, life meets me there. You don't need to beg for what belongs to you. You need to become the version of yourself who can hold it. That means lifting your standards, guarding your thoughts, refining your habits, and walking with the calm strength of someone who understands that delay is not denial. It is preparation. When you stop chasing, you stop shrinking. You stop signaling to the world that you are not enough. You start creating pull. You build gravity. You begin attracting the people, rooms, and results that match your new level, not the fear from your past. Yes, this requires belief. It requires patience. But more than anything, it requires you to live from a place of identity, not insecurity. So each morning say it. I don't chase, I attract. Because when you do, you remind your inner world, you are not out seeking scraps. You are becoming a beacon for destiny. And what is yours is already moving toward you. 3. I am the creator, not the bystander of my life. Let this be your first realization when you rise. So many live as if life is happening to them, as if they're waiting for someone to give them the script, the go-ahead, the opportunity, as if they need permission to begin. But you are not here to wait. You are not a background character in your own life. You are the lead, the writer, the director, and your life will only unfold as powerfully as your choices allow. The world will always try to cast you in a role it finds familiar, but your purpose requires you to break that mold. The moment you pick up the pen of authorship, your life starts moving with power. You stop craving attention and start moving with purpose. You stop reacting and start building your path with clarity. Your story won't write itself. It needs your voice, your vision, your bravery. Yes, you've stumbled. Yes, there are pages you'd erase. But real stories aren't perfect. They're powerful because they change. So remind yourself this. You don't need a flawless past to build a meaningful future. You just need the courage to write the next line. Say it every morning. I am not an audience member. I am the author. This next chapter begins now, by choice, not by chance. Speak this over yourself before the world floods in, before the pings, the demands, the distractions come knocking. Because if you don't protect your life, someone else will use it for. You are not designed to be endlessly reachable, perpetually exhausted, or constantly running on empty. You are not here to be consumed by the convenience of others. You are a being of value, of depth, of direction. Your time is not something to give away lightly. It's a currency. Your energy is not infinite. It's a resource. And your peace, your stillness, is not negotiable. It is foundational. The moment you treat these parts of your life as sacred, you stop feeling guilty for guarding them. You'll realize that saying no is not being harsh, it's being wise. That not replying instantly isn't being careless, it's being centered. That choosing solitude doesn't make you distant, it makes you powerful. Boundaries aren't walls to block life out. They are filters that protect what matters most within. And what is within you, your vision, your clarity, your purpose, is too precious to be handed over to noise and chaos. You do not owe your accessibility to anyone. You are allowed to be unreachable if it means being well. So before the day gets away from you, take a breath. Decide what deserves your time. Decide what deserves your energy. Remember, your time is limited. Your energy is gold. Your peace is non-negotiable. Walk like it. Act like it. Protect it fiercely, the same way you would guard something you deeply love. Because when you honor what's sacred within, the world learns to honor it too. 5. Discipline is my language. Consistency is my edge. Let this echo in your heart, especially on days when motivation feels absent. Because greatness does not belong to the most enthusiastic. It belongs to the most consistent. Anyone can be inspired for a moment, but discipline is what shows up when the spark fades. Discipline is not a feeling, it is a decision. It is the voice that says, I will show up, even when I don't feel like it. It's the act of showing up when you're tired, when it's uncomfortable, when no one is watching. Discipline doesn't bargain. It doesn't need mood or motivation. It shows up because it's committed. And when you make discipline your daily language, you stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop chasing shortcuts. You stop relying on your emotions to carry your progress. You begin to move in rhythm. You begin to build momentum. You begin to embody a quiet strength. Because true mastery doesn't come from one grand act. It comes from tiny acts done repeatedly. That's where consistency enters. Consistency is what amplifies discipline. It's what takes ordinary effort and multiplies it into extraordinary results. Let the world call you obsessed. Let the grind get lonely. Let the rewards arrive slowly. You keep moving, rooted, focused, faithful to the path. Because while others start and stop, you build, and eventually, what once felt hard becomes habit. What once seemed impossible becomes part of who you are. That's the magic of discipline. It changes your identity. So rise up. Don't ask if you're motivated. Remind yourself, discipline is my language. Consistency is my edge. And with these two forces within, there's nothing you can't build. 6. I am whole as I am, yet I choose to evolve. This isn't contradiction. It's wisdom. Growth doesn't mean you're broken. It means you see your value clearly, and you know more is possible. True transformation is not driven by shame, but by self-respect. You're not chasing worthiness, you're building on it. You don't grow because you hate who you are. You grow because you love who you are enough to not stay the same. You're not lacking. You're expanding. You can stand in the mirror and say, I am proud of who I've become, and, in the same breath whisper, but I'm not done yet. That is not weakness. That is power. Growth from a place of gratitude is unstoppable, because it's not about fixing, it's about rising. Rising from strength, rising from awareness, rising from purpose. When you know you are already whole, you stop performing for validation. You start pursuing vision. You no longer act to be accepted. You act because you are called. Each improvement you make is not rejection of your past. It is an honoring of your future. You are not pushing yourself out of pressure. You're moving because there is something within you that refuses to settle. Say it every day until it sinks deep. I am whole as I am, yet I choose to evolve. This is not insecurity. This is maturity. This is how powerful change begins. 7. No voice outside of me speaks louder than the truth within me. Say this with power each morning, because the world will always be loud. Opinions will fly at you from every direction, from strangers behind screens, from friends projecting their fears, from society telling you who to be, what to chase, and what matters. But your strength begins the moment you decide. Only one voice leads me, the one within. That voice, the quiet one inside, knows your path. It knows your core values. It remembers your calling. It speaks not to please, but to align. You weren't created to mold yourself to every outside expectation. You weren't meant to shrink so others can feel tall. You weren't born to blend in. You were meant to walk in truth, and that truth lives inside you. If you ignore that voice, you'll spend your life pulled in every direction, chasing approval, avoiding criticism, and forgetting who you are in the process. But when you stay rooted in what's real, when you learn to trust your own compass, you move from a place of clarity, not confusion. Critics may still come, but they won't shake you. Praises may come too, but they won't define you. You begin to move from purpose, not permission, from depth, not distraction. So rise each day and anchor yourself. Let your inner truth be your direction, your stability, your fire. No outside voice is louder than the truth within me. Let that become your armor and your guide. Point 8. I am designed for challenge, shaped by purpose, and carried by faith. This is more than motivation. It's a declaration of how you were made, because pressure isn't proof of weakness. It's the environment where strength is formed. When life gets heavy, when setbacks come, when plans fall apart, you must remind yourself, you weren't made to crumble. You were made to rise. Tension doesn't break you, it molds you. It sharpens your focus. It builds your core. It draws out resilience you didn't know you had. You're not just here to survive hard seasons. You're here to grow through them, to come out refined, wiser, and even more aligned with your purpose. There is nothing soft about your design. You were built like tempered steel, strengthened in the fire. And when the journey feels slow, when clarity seems distant, when you feel like giving up, that's when faith must speak. Faith doesn't always show you the full picture, but it gives you the courage to keep moving forward. You don't need to see every step. You just need to trust the next one. Even the pain, the waiting, the confusion, it's not wasted. It's preparation. There is divine purpose in the pressure. So every morning, say it like you believe it. I am designed for challenge, shaped by purpose, and carried by faith. You are not breaking, you are becoming. 9. I do not fear the unknown. I step into it with ownership. Let this truth be your fuel at the edge of uncertainty. The world will tell you to stay safe, stay small, stick to what's familiar. But you were not built for cages of comfort. You were built for courage, for adventure, for the unknown. Because what you cannot predict, that is the space where miracles are born. That is where transformation begins. Too many people choose routine over risk. They let fear keep them stuck in patterns that no longer serve them. But not you. You've made a different choice. To view the unknown, not as a threat, but as an invitation, an open canvas, a test, a portal for growth. When you own the unknown, you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if this is the moment that changes everything?" To own the unknown is to show up without guarantees, to trust your ability to adjust, to learn, to rise. It's not about having every answer. It's about having enough trust to take the first step. Every remarkable life began that way, with someone who moved forward, armed only with belief. Let that belief guide you. You don't need certainty, you need courage. Each morning, remind yourself, I do not fear the unknown. I step into it with ownership, and in time, what once terrified you will become the ground where your greatness grows. 10. Every closed door leads me closer to the right one. Let this be your reminder on the days rejection stings, when things don't go your way, when what you wanted slips through your hands. Because no isn't the end, it's a redirection. Every no you hear isn't punishment, it's protection, it's guidance, it's course correction, it's the universe clearing a path away from what was never truly yours, towards something far better aligned. You may feel disappointed, you may feel delayed, but what if every time something didn't work out, it was actually working for you? The right opportunities, the right people, the right rooms, they cannot miss you. You don't have to force your way into spaces not meant for you. You don't need to knock down doors that aren't yours. You just need to keep moving forward, with faith that the yes that aligns with your highest path is still on its way. That shift, from frustration to trust, transforms rejection into redirection. It builds resilience. It cultivates patience. It deepens belief. So when something ends, don't collapse. Breathe. Trust. Continue. Your journey is not a straight line. It's a masterwork of timing and divine placement. Let this be your mantra. Every closed door brings me closer to the right one. 11. I am not behind. I am exactly where I need to be for what's ahead. Speak this to your soul on the days comparison creeps in, when it feels like everyone else is moving faster, achieving more, getting further. The world loves speed, loves milestones, loves highlighting success with timelines. But your journey, it's not a race. It's a rhythm, uniquely yours. What looks like delay isn't delay at all. It's development. What looks like stillness is often quiet preparation. You may feel stuck, but life may be building roots before growth appears. Sometimes progress happens under the surface, in your mindset, your maturity, your foundation. There are lessons to be learned in stillness, strength to be built in solitude, and alignment to be refined in the waiting. Stop measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. You are not late. You are on divine time. Your path is not supposed to look like theirs. Your pace is not supposed to match theirs. You are being prepared, not punished. So when you feel the urge to rush, pause instead. Return to trust. Remind yourself, this season has a purpose. There's no need to force open doors. When the right ones are opening in perfect time, every step, even the slow ones, are still steps forward. Every moment, even the quiet ones, are shaping you. Say it with conviction. I am not behind. I am exactly where I need to be for what's ahead. Patience isn't weakness, it's power, and your moment is coming. Stay ready for it. Point 1-2. Today, I walk as the version of me I've been envisioning. Let this be the vow you make when the sun rises. A promise to no longer wait for change, but to embody it. Too many wait for clarity, for confidence, for permission, believing that someday they'll feel ready enough to move forward. But the truth, transformation doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It begins when you decide to act from belief, not doubt. When you walk like the person you're becoming, you train your body, your mind, and your environment to adjust. You shift your energy. You align your habits. You raise your standard. You don't need to wait for the world to validate your identity. You claim it with every step. Walking like your future self means you speak differently. You think differently. You choose differently. It means every choice you make today is made with the awareness of who you are becoming. That's how the gap closes, not by waiting, but by embodying your vision now. This isn't arrogance. This is self-respect. It's honoring your potential by living like it already exists, because it does. The future you desire is built by the present you, right now, in the way you move, speak, act, and decide. So declare it without hesitation. Today, I walk as the version of me I've been envisioning. Let your posture reflect it. Let your presence carry it. Let your actions back it up. Because when you live like that version of you is already here, the world begins to treat you accordingly. Final note: the power is already within each of these declarations. Is more than a statement. It's a practice, a blueprint for living with awareness and power. You do not need to wait to feel strong. You do not need to wait to be chosen. You do not need to wait to be ready. Each morning, you can rise and speak life into your path. You can shape your identity, your energy, and your future with intention. These words are not magic. They are mirrors. They reflect what already lives inside of you. The peace, the focus, the resilience, the purpose. It's all there, waiting for you to remember. So tomorrow, when the world tries to define you, remind yourself first. When distraction knocks, return to your focus. When fear rises, speak faith. Because this journey is not about becoming someone else. It's about returning to the most powerful version of yourself. The one you were always meant to be. Start each day like it matters. Because it does. Speak it. Live it. Walk it. Your life is listening.